So basically, there are places I would advise you not to go in search of accommodation in the UK, especially on Facebook Market. Please, it's like a 50-50 thing. There's a 50-50 chance that you might be duped. There's another chance that you might see something nice. Hello. Did you miss me? Yes, I did miss you. So welcome. This is your girl, Nikki Choma. Welcome to my YouTube channel. As usual, do not forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up and comment on every video, because it's only when you subscribe you will be aware of my new videos. So do you want to be left in the dark? I'm sure you do not want to, so why not just click on that subscribe button now and follow. Okay, so today we'll be talking about how to search for accommodation and where to search for accommodation. Yes, in the UK, particularly in Coventry. So sit back and relax. I'm taking you on this roller coaster ride. So welcome back. Again, as a student, coming to the UK has been a bit challenging because for me, I wasn't given this opportunity for someone to actually guide me through every process. So aren't you lucky that you are going to learn from my own experience as a person? So what more? Just click on that subscribe button now so you don't make the same mistakes I made. So as a student, depending on the university you're applying for and the university you've gotten admission for, basically universities have student accommodation for their students, which you have to pay up like a month or two before you're coming to the UK. You have to have sorted out your accommodation because it's like a hot cake. So the accommodation, don't be scared, it's not like the normal Nigerian kind of accommodation. Like, they are very nice. They have different halls with different names and they have different pattern. You could have the one where you're sharing a lounge, that you're sharing a sitting room alone, but the room is just yours, and then probably the toiletries and the bathrooms will be shared. Or there are also those accommodations for those who enjoy their privacy. Rather, for such people, you can get the bathroom, the toilet, the kitchen to yourself. And they also have those who would love to like stay with just two people, so you can make arrangements and stay with someone you are comfortable with or you know. So all you just have to do is apply on time and submit the both of you's name, requesting that both of you would love to stay together. But this is not guaranteed if you're searching for the accommodation late, because probably some other people have gotten the accommodation. So the next thing you want to do is they are going to invite you to have a virtual viewing of the apartment, because normally that's like one of the you must see before you pay for any accommodation. So if you're not yet in Nigeria, if you're not yet in the UK, you would have to subscribe for a virtual viewing where you view the property online. Or better still, if you have a friend or student like you in the UK that you know, you can probably ask the person for a favor to help you go check out the place and then you see the place. Basically, the warning advice here in UK is that make sure that you have checked every tab, every socket, everything, like the beddings, the wall, everything is in order and to your taste before you put in that money into the account. Because once you start doing I want refund, before that process will be over, and then you'll probably be stranded in the UK. So you want to be sure before you put your money that this is actually a genuine person. So if you're using student accommodation, there's no worries because the school handles everything. So there's no fear of maybe I will be duped by somebody, or all these 419ers that are just online, all these scammers and hackers everywhere. So you're 100% guaranteed because it's the school that overshadows the accommodation process. And you would have to submit documents verifying that you are a student before you can use, because student accommodation are only for students. If you have a spouse or you have a child, you cannot use the student accommodation. Yes, there are people that have been using student accommodation illegally, but if you're being caught, you'll be in trouble. But officially, student accommodations are meant for only their students. They do not make provisions for any other dependents that you're coming with. So if you have a dependent, someone you're coming to the UK with, it's advisable that you do not opt for student accommodation because you might be frustrated. Now, for instance, what if you get caught? Yeah, majority of people don't get caught because it's not like in secondary school where someone is coming to monitor who is in this room and who is not. You have your privacy, but peradventure you get caught, you could be stranded, right? That's like a factor. You could be stranded and you could be penalized for it. So these are like things you want to put in mind. Now we have the United Student Accommodation and some others that handle student accommodation for Coventry University. We also have the Right Move. Right Move handles more of private student accommodation. That means they are not in partnership with Coventry University, but they provide student accommodation. So if you're a family and you're looking for accommodation, I don't think Right Move is the place for you because you might get to see for professionals, but the rules are just too much. Okay, let me be specific with the examples. For examples now, in Right Move, you might see a 2-bedroom apartment and they just want it to be occupied. What the landlord demands is that it should be occupied by mainly students or professional students, that's those doing their masters. So if you're not a master's degree holder and you're like searching on Right Move, you have some bit of limitation. So if you want a place where you can easily search for proper accommodation and you're coming with family, it's not just you. If it's just you, Right Move is fine. If it's just you and your spouse, there are some apartments being advertised on Right Move that actually are a bit flexible to allow you and just one person or another student, being your spouse or a non-student, to stay in the accommodation. But if you're looking for something for family and you're looking for a timely stuff, you're looking for opportunities, like you're looking for several options, not just being limited to a particular pattern or style of apartment where you have your privacy, you are not doing share this one, share that one, share that one, then I think Zoopla is a place for you. So Zoopla is like a platform where different agencies advertise properties they have, like they are plenty. So on Zoopla, from day to day, you cannot come on a day and not see accommodations to view. Like there are several accommodations to view. So when you get to Zoopla, all you just need to do is restrict or limit your search options to what you want as a person. Now, if I'm looking for a 2-bedroom apartment, I'll put like while I'm filling to register on the site, I'm looking for a 2-bedroom apartment. So usually they do what's your minimum and what's your maximum budget. So in that place, you feel what's the lowest you can pay and what's the highest you can pay for an apartment. Now you give them you have several options. You want it in a shared, like do you want to share the accommodation with other people or you just want it private to yourself? So they are different. You have an apartment where each of the rooms are studios and then you have to share the kitchen and then some bathrooms, and then you have apartments where it's just you, just the flat, and it's just you. So it depends on what you want. So understand how the apartment stuff in UK works. We have flats, we have studio, we have single. Just be sure, and if you're not sure, they have their agency emails there, so you can just mail them and ask your question. How does this property come? And moreover, it's so beautiful that you can get to see videos and pictures of the apartment, so it better helps you understand. You can see how close it is to where you want to be, like your environment. Another thing is Zoopla. If you want to stay in, let's say, CV1, don't limit your search to CV1. You can put CV2, CV3, CV4 to CV5 because those are a bit closer to CV1. You get? So when you do that, options or offers within that areas are being shown to you. So you check them out. The beautiful thing is not like in Nigeria where you will mail somebody and it will take 100 days before the person will respond. As you mail them, you've looked at the pictures, you've looked at the proximity, you've looked at the payment, you've looked at their clauses. Like there are some that will tell you that bills are covered, some will tell you bills are not covered. So if you're looking for an apartment where the bills are covered, then you know that such accommodations without bills being covered are not for you. Then if you know you can do with the bills not being covered, then you can go for such one. So once everything have matched your criteria, then you can now proceed to now email the particular agency. Like there are so many of them. you email them. You will just see the option there, mail the agent, and then you mail an agent and say, oh hi, how can I view this apartment? I'm interested in it. And some of them go the extra mile to ask you some simple basic questions so that nobody gets to waste their time. So if you don't fall within that criteria, like they ask how many people will be living in the accommodation, and you're looking at a studio and you're saying it's 5 people that will be inside the studio, sorry, they will tell you that sorry, this is not the apartment for you. So probably they will now refer you to a larger apartment, because here in the UK there are conditions of living. It's not that it's not like in Nigeria where 5 people can pack and be in a room. No, there are restrictions. There are apartments that are meant for 2 people, 3 people. You will see it there on each of the apartments. They'll tell you maximum of 2 people, maximum of 1 person, maximum of 6 person, like that. That's how it goes.
Interesting.
So when you've contacted the agent, obviously they respond very fast. So they respond with a mail telling you when are you available to view the apartment and all that. So when you set out a time and date you're available, then you can view the apartment. Please note that African time does not run here. So if they tell you you're viewing by 4 and 4 is not convenient for you, you can extend it. Tell them, okay, I'll be there by 4:30, and let your 4:30 be 4:30, because you're not the only one in UK looking for accommodation. There are several people, and it's not a thing of maybe it's just you for the day that has been assigned. There are several people that have been assigned to the property. Even when you get there, you see some other people that are interested in that property as well. But that should not discourage you, because it is who indicates interest and takes the next step of payment, of holding deposit, that actually secures the place.
I'm not gonna be here.
So after you view the place, oh, I like it or I don't like it, you move on. If you like the place, you can now talk to the agent, contact their office back, and then ask what's the procedure. So usually they do a holding deposit. Why they do that is so that the house will not be advertised for that period. They are checking your documents to be sure that you have the right to live in UK. So while they are doing that, that holding deposit takes off the house from the market, so it's no longer being advertised. So usually it takes a week to 2 for them to do all their credit worthiness, check your right to live in the UK and your student stuff and other visa stuff. They'll just check everything out. So once they are done checking it out, they'll contact you back and now tell you, oh, okay, your documents are valid. Another thing to note is if you have had a work experience in the UK, you may not have to pay like a long rent. It's actually a monthly rent, but in some cases you might even see weekly rent.
What?
But if you're new to the UK, your options are 2. Either you get a guarantor, or you pay for either 6 months or 1 year upfront. You may not see the monthly or weekly offer because they do not know your credit worthiness. You have not stayed in that country, so they can't tell, oh, this one. So another thing that can save you from that long-term payment is if you have a job. Not just having a job, if they've given you the contract. So you submit your contract to the housing agency and then they check it. They will contact your job and find out if the contract you submitted was actually genuine. So if you have a job, then you are 100% safe. You might get the monthly or weekly. And most times it depends on the landlord as well. If the landlord needs the money urgently, he might tell you that the least he wants to stake it is upfront 3 months, upfront 6 months, upfront 1 year. But in most cases, you will definitely see monthly if you meet up this criteria. If you have a guarantor or you have a job, you would get monthly and you can pay monthly. Nobody is going to force you into paying monthly when you have all this. Like me, I worked with a guarantor because my offer letter wasn't yet available as at when I needed the accommodation. So aside that, then they start discussion for the payment of the rent and all that. That's a gist for another day. So basically, there are places I would advise you not to go in search of accommodation in the UK, especially on Facebook Market. Please, it's like a 50-50 thing. There's a 50-50 chance that you might be duped. There's another chance that you might see something nice. And there are apartments that seem so good to be true that are on Facebook Market that should just tell you that there's something wrong with this place. It's not possible for you to see an apartment that is well furnished and they're telling you to pay just £200 per month. Come on. There's something wrong with that. Something wrong with that. And work with your budget. In working with your budget, you can ask people, oh, how much do you think this usually costs? Like for me, what I did was I went on Rightmove, I went on Zoopla, and I went on the United Student sites and I compared accommodation. So when I was done, I just did my average calculation. So I put my lowest at this amount and I put my highest at this amount. So make sure that at the end of the month, you can comfortably foot your bills without anybody having to sue you for not paying your rent. So do not go and collect an apartment that is above your budget. Now, one thing you should consider, what you earn. You should be able to pay your rent and also pay other bills if bills are not included, and also sort out transportation, sort out feeding. So it shouldn't be once you just earn your salary straight up you're paying rent. It doesn't work that way. So work with what is convenient for you. And above all, start on time to search for accommodation. I know that it's a bit difficult when you're searching on Zoopla from Nigeria. You may not get all the attention you deserve because you're not in Nigeria, but there are agencies that are patient enough on Zoopla as well. We have the 4-star Lewis. I worked with them. Yes, they are very nice. They would actually guide you through every steps and make sure that you do not make any costly mistake. So if you need more tips on particular agencies to work with in terms of accommodation, why not go to the comment section and ask that question there, and you will get answers, because people have had experiences, bad and good, with letting agencies. So if you don't want to fall into the wrong hands, why not just go there, ask your question, and trust me, I'll be there to give you a speedy answer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned as more videos will be coming this week. So enjoy, have a wonderful day. I love you. It's your girl again, Nikki. Bye for now.